Hi, Luke. Just helping you with 24 and 26. For both of these problems, you're just going to FOIL. FOIL, again, stands for first, outers, inners, last. So I'm going to go ahead and just set up my F, my O, my I, and my L for each of these problems. So if I FOIL number 24, I have to take the product of my firsts. And in the first, I have 2 times negative 2. That's negative 4. My outers is 2 times the square root of 5k. And we're not allowed to multiply something that's outside of the house by something that's underneath. So this stays 2 root 5k. My inners is the square root of 5. What? The square root of 5 times negative 2. Again, I can't multiply those things together. So that's just going to be negative 2 times the square root of 5. And then my last would be the square root of 5 times the square root of 5k. And I am allowed to actually multiply those two things together. And that's the square root of 25k. And then if I use my product property to break this apart, it's the same thing as the square root of 5 times the square root of k, which is actually 5 square roots of k. Try that again. 5 square roots of k. There we go. The last thing I have to go ahead and do is just take some time to identify any like terms that I would see. And when I swing through and I look at my firsts, my outers, my inners, my last, I'm looking at the radical parts to see if any of them are the same. So this guy's the square root of 5k. This guy's just the square root of 5. And this guy's just the square root of k. So what you're going to notice is that those are not like terms. So we can't actually combine those. So our answer is just that answer that's on your answer key. Scroll down a little bit here. So yeah, you just write that all out and that's your final answer. The same thing would be true for number 26. If we FOIL that, we're doing 7 times 1, that's 7. Your outers would be 7 times the square root of 6, that's 7 root 6. Your inners would be 1 times the square root of 6, that's just 1 square root of 6. And then the last would be the square root of 6 times the square root of 6. That's the square root of 36, but we don't really write it like that. You just write it like 6. Now, this time around, I actually do see some like terms. The square root of 6 and the square root of 6 have the same variable part, so we can actually combine those. Same thing with good old 7 and 6 here. So the sum of 7 and 6 is 13. And then 7 square roots of 6 plus 1 more square root of 6 is just 8 square root of 6. It's like the square root of 6 acts like a variable. We just kind of bring it along for the ride.